brain freeze. Hey, Birch. Zinnie. Looks like you two have met. There's Lou, doing pull-ups in his doorframe, able to shout even though he's probably on pull-up number 300 or something. Zinnie, want to join Birch and me for lunch? As much as I usually pretend polite indifference to Lou, because he winks and uses words like snazzy and is old but fit in his jogging bottoms, I secretly like him. I even secretly like that he asks me to call him coach, which I have never once done. I don't go around calling people coach. But while I like Lou, I'm not so sure about the invitation, especially as Birch might let the bees out of the hood. There will be ice cream, Lou adds, as our apartment offers leftover tofu cucumber salad and cereal, and that's about it. I can't bring myself to turn down his offer. If you put it that way, okay, I say. The three of us enter Lou's apartment single file, passing the challenge poster in Lou's hallway that has a picture of a woman climbing up the side of a steep rock face. Lou loves motivational posters. There's a quote underneath the rock climber that really sticks out to me today. Nothing external to you has any power over you. Ralph Waldo Emerson. I'd like to talk to this Ralph about what's arrived on my head to see if he might change his mind about that. Lunch is very small sandwiches and very large bowls of ice cream. I opt for chocolate chip on its own, while Lou and Birch dunk cookies into their portions to make them even more junk foody. When the bowl is before me, I can't help but think back to yesterday and wonder whether there's a connection between what's in the bowl and what's on my head. After all, the bees arrived after I went to Scoops. Maybe ice cream makes insects act strangely. For all I know, dragonflies will soon appear in Lou's kitchen and attach themselves to my fingers like opulent rings. I guess it's a risk I'm willing to take, though. Having bees on my head is bad enough without having ice cream off limits. I take one bite and then another. Lou's television is blaring on the kitchen counter, so we're all pretty quiet as we eat. A show with a lot of arguing is on. I can't even tell what they're arguing about, it's so loud. Lou doesn't look at the screen, but he refuses to turn it off or down. He does, however, tell me that my sweatshirt hood may be affecting my alignment and points out that I'm hunching over my ice cream bowl. He suggests I should take my hood off, and he offers me free ergonomic coaching. I decline both. Birch has, somehow, amazingly never tasted ice cream before. This guy is pretty weird. Dr. Flostrop would probably love this fact about Birch, except that on his first taste, he describes it through shivering cheeks as delectable. Then he digs in again and proceeds to get his first brain freeze. I know because he slaps his palm to his forehead in the universal language of brain freezes. Put your tongue on the roof of your mouth, I tell him, through my own mouthful of creamy vanilla and crunchy chocolate chips. Birch obeys, and Lou and I wait a few seconds for him to remove his palm from his face. Ouch, I owe you, Birch says. No, you don't. I have a lot of experience with ice cream, I say. What does your mom have to say about that? Lou asks. I ignore his question, instead focusing on counting the number of chocolate chips left to my bowl. 11. Earth to Zinnie, says Lou. Oh, let's make ice cream our little secret, okay? I say. Safe with me, says Lou, confirming that despite the gray tufts of hair spilling from his V-neck shirt, he is still the best grown-up I know. Right after Mildred, that is. What, does your mom only eat squirrel food too? Asks Birch. Sort of, but it's more about sweets. She's a dentist. No way. Yes way. That's the coolest thing I've ever heard. I thought bees were the coolest thing you've ever... I quickly zip my mouth closed. Maybe I'm the one who should worry about spilling the beans. Or bees, as the case may be. What bees? Asks Lou as he gets up from the table to stretch. Coolest thing I ever heard. Not saw, Birch corrects. Ignoring Lou's question. Well, dentists aren't really that cool, I say. Trust me. I disagree. Dentists are scientists. Your mom probably knows all kinds of stuff. Hey, folks, Lou asks again, shouting to be heard over the screaming television, me and Birch talking, and the water he started running in the sink. What bees? We still ignore him. Dentists don't know much other than how to cure brain freeze, I tell Birch. Okay, maybe not better than that, but... Lou turns to us from the sink. Are bees some kind of code for drugs? Come on, you can tell me. I frantically look at Birch, telepathically telling him not to mention the bees. My bees. Please, please, please. Thankfully, Birch catches on. No, Uncle Lou, I saw a nature documentary, and it showed how bees actually dance. It's called a waggle dance, and one of them does it to lead the others to something important. Their little bee bottoms wiggle around. It's really cool. I'm relieved to learn Birch can think on his feet. Now I just want to get out of here to avoid any more close calls. Oh, that is pretty cool. Much better than drugs, kids, believe me. Lou starts doing his own bee waggle dance while he washes up, swishing his behind in the most ridiculous way. I'm about to slink from the kitchen, but Lou starts talking again. You know who can really dance? Adam. After that, I no longer want to slink away. I want to hear what waggle dancing Lou says about my brother. He borrowed boxing gloves from me a couple weeks ago, and that kid can move. Boxing gloves? I repeat, perplexed. Adam, who never exercises and has never been in a fight? Now I'm the one who feels like I have brain freeze. Yeah, I guess it's not technically borrowing because he mentioned he was going to paint some outrageous color. That's Adam. Right? Gotta love that kid. Who's Adam? Says Birch. Nobody, I say. Adam isn't nobody, of course, but he's beginning to feel more and more like a stranger. Lou starts singing his own original waggle song while he continues washing up and dancing. I finally leave the room. Birch follows, of course. Thanks for making up that stuff about waggle dancing, I say, as I head for the front door. Actually, I didn't make it up, says Birch. Oh, well, thanks for making up that's what we were talking about. Bees on TV. Not that there are any other bees on the premises, I add. No problem. Now we're even for the brain freeze remedy. Okay, I say, practically flying out the door. Please thank Lou for lunch. Okay, says Birch, but he seems like he wants to say something more. He's fiddling with the cuff of his tartan shirt when I look back at him from my apartment. Hey, Zinnia, do you want to try Lou's? I don't wait to hear the rest of what he's going to ask. Instead, I grab the sticky note Dr. Flossdrop has left for me, reminding me to go to her office and walk milkshake, and that there's tofu cucumber salad in the fridge, and close the door. Whoosh. I already know what Birch wants to ask. He's probably dying to talk about the bees. And while he may have kept my bees a secret from Lou, I'd rather not continue Birch's scientific inquiry. No one is to be trusted at this point. I mean, look at Adam and those boxing gloves. I'm starting to think I don't know my brother at all. I'm starting to think that nothing is reliable. Everything feels new and unpredictable and out of whack. Talk about brain freeze. Bees. Spake the queen. Life in the makeshift human hive might have been considered a step up from our life as truck-traveling hired pollinators. But make no mistake, we were not oozing gratitude. First, we were weary, practically starving, having already scoured any remaining pollen remnants from our legs, and sucked each other's probosces dry of every last drop of nectar. That sugary film on the human's head didn't last a minute, not that it hit the spot anyway. We even went so far as to try eating the layer of oil beneath our living quarters, but it tasted horrible. Worse than being tired and hungry, we knew our big chance had failed, possibly our only chance. We looked around and didn't see many trees or reliable food sources. We were used to being cared for by beekeepers, our lives a semi-predictable routine. And now, here we were, on our own. We had no idea what to do. We longed for a real home, to build honeycomb in a place of our own, to seal the cracks with bee glue, to guard our nest, to do jobs, to raise young, to work hard, and see the fruits of our labor. We longed for the extended waggle dance of a forager telling of wild delights to be found in the distance. We even longed for the sudden intrusion of a bear's massive claw into our honey-dripping hive. Those were things we'd heard of, tales passed down from colony to colony for generations. That's what we thought we were escaping to. But those were things only dreamed of for now. Mostly, we grumbled. There was grumbling about the noise, the lack of noise, the light, the lack of light, the temperature, the food, the lack thereof, and every other facet of our accommodation. There was continuous grumbling about a certain inexperienced scout who clearly should have not been trusted. Yes, we spent most of our time complaining loudly and pointing our collective antennae at B641, pleading to the Queen for some kind of justice. B641 spent most of her time curled up in a ball, legs wrapped around her thorax. Until the human moves somewhere with hibiscus flowers and pomegranate trees, we are stuck with her. We shall stop being petty and make the most of it, and that is that, spake the Queen. And that, indeed, was that.